Problem with the hotkey, right?
Probably, eventually, yes.
Okay, so I've got it until I get used
No,
to
you're
it.
still good.
No, I just redid it.
Oh, okay, heard.
All right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. So I don't. So does that start a brand new live stream?
Correct.
Okay, so the link you had before was dead. So now if this was on a schedule,
Yes, it goes to a different one now.
even if it was scheduled, if I killed it, it would start a brand new one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know nobody was there. This is kind of my first dry run here and my practice run. So if you're catching this, bear with my my screw ups. All right. But long story short, here, what we're doing is I'm a health insurance agent in Phoenix, Arizona. I work through a lot of states across the nation, and it's a very confusing world. We all hate health insurance. There's not a single one of us, including myself. I pay a ton of money for my insurance because I understand the insurance world so much, because that I have all these clients and crazy experiences. Yes, I have a higher fear level than you do, likely. I do pay a lot more than most people that I know for insurance by far. And it's only because I want access to the best doctors, right? I never want to hear in my life that the person who can fix me is out of network. And that might be foolish, but because I've ran into so many crazy scenarios with my clients, I'm paying extra to have the best plan out there, which is a group plan, which is what's called a fully insured group plan. And that's just the way it works. So I'm going to start going live. My name is Mario Lizarraga. And I'm going to start trying to go live every day, at least maybe every day is a little extreme. I'm going to try to do it. Let's start with once a week, and maybe we'll get to every day. But right now I'm going to say once a week, maybe every day. And I'm going to show you things like this right here. I'm going to start pulling up the actual quoting engine, and I'm going to show you my thought process and what happens here. So this is the tools that we have as a licensed insurance agent. And I'm going to caution you as you're out there looking for a good insurance agent, make sure they've got years of experience. See if they've got some clients out there that they can give you some sort of feedback on, a referral, because unfortunately, there are a lot of agents either who don't have the knowledge, and even worse, they do it for the commission. All right. I would argue that almost any agent out there who's strongly encouraging you and pushing you to a non-reputable company, meaning a large name company, they're likely in it for the commission. There's got to be a very, very important reason why I would recommend to some of my clients a product that wasn't a Blue Cross Blue Shield, a United Healthcare, one of these products. There's logical reasons why certain people go to Obamacare on exchange versus off exchange, and people don't understand the difference. Healthcare.gov, Obamacare, these are all synonymous names. These are all words that mean pretty much the same thing. On exchange, healthcare.gov, Obamacare, ACA, all of those things. Those are the same thing, everybody. You need to understand that. Not everybody needs to go there, right? It's not for everybody. It typically is for people who have pre-existing conditions because it's guaranteed issue and you're not self-employed, so you can't create your own group plan, or it's for people who financially qualify for the subsidy. Obamacare is not, I repeat, it is not an insurance plan. It is a subsidy program. It is basically a mall that has brought together a lot of insurance companies. And in order for these insurance companies to offer products at that mall, they have to conform to what are called the 10 essential health benefits. And some of those health benefits, just for example, they have to take on pre-existing conditions. They cannot ask you what's going on in your life. What's your age? Where do you live? And are you male or female? Right? That's it. They have to cover maternity coverage, whether you need it or not. They have to cover mental health benefits, whether you want them or not. There's 10 of these items, and I'm not going to go through them all, that make them eligible to put a plan on healthcare.gov that we can go search for. And we're about to do that. I'm going to show you that example here in a second. So what that means when you're doing that, right, is when you qualify for the subsidy, that means that the government is basically saying, hey, John Q. Citizen, we know insurance is expensive. We want you to only pay a certain percentage of your income towards the cost of health care, period. That includes cost of premium and also out-of-pocket costs. And a lot of people are unfamiliar with the second portion, the phase 2 money. And I'll get into that a little bit. Most people are familiar with the subsidy. And so that subsidy is that's good money. If you financially qualify for this, what I refer to as a gift card, it's good money. It's a gift card, and that gift card can be used at one mall. That mall is healthcare.gov. and you can go shopping with that gift card and apply that gift card towards the cost of any plan. It's totally up to you. And I'm about to walk you through that right now. This is one of our back office quoting engines. It's called Health Sherpa. And I'm going to use myself as the example of how this works. All right. So hopefully you can see my screen. I'll maybe enlarge it a little bit so you can see a little better. And basically, I'm going to put a zip code. I'm here in Phoenix, Arizona. So 85016 is my zip code. Household members. I have one member. Before I get going here, did you send that to Norma? Okay, great. Norma, hopefully you're there. Say hello if so. Come on, chat. Bring it on, chat. Like that, Joe? Bring it in the chat.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
Okay, so for this example, I'm going to show that I'm a household of one, meaning it's just me on my tax return, no children, not married. I'm just going to go with a household of one for this example. I'm going to say my household income is, let's just say it's $50,000, right? So this is me putting the basic information in the system that's going to determine what I'm referring to as the gift card. So you can see over here on the right side of the screen, I don't know if you can see this, how well you see this on the screen. Well, I got to figure out this right here. This is that gift card. And you can see I've got to actually messed up the age. I am not 35. I wish I was 35. I'm a 51-year-old male. And I'm not a female either. I'm a male. All right. So you can see for a single household member, $50,000 income, 51 years old, $292 a month is my gift card. That's good money, folks. That's $300 a month that the government says, assuming I'm eligible, I check all the boxes in the application, I'm going to get that gift card. Now, here's the challenge of that gift card. That $292 is going to be reconciled when you file your tax return. So it's very important. Again, this is where picking an agent is critical because the agent isn't on the hook for this money if they do your application incorrectly. You are on the hook for this money. I can't stress that enough. Let me say it again. Let me say it one more time. You are on the hook if you get the wrong agent and they help you fill out your application incorrectly. And that doesn't matter if that agent is at healthcare.gov or not. In healthcare.gov, they have navigators and they're trained, but they're not licensed insurance agents. So find a very seasoned insurance agent to help you with this process. Do not just go to somebody who's pretty new. That's my advice. So getting back to the quote, here we are. So I'm a 51-year-old male. I've got $292 gift card. You can see here in Arizona, in my zip code, I have access to 85 plans. Okay, this varies. This varies county to county. I'm in Maricopa County, so in Maricopa County, there's 85 plans that are offered, the largest county in Arizona. So that's why there's so many options. So you can see here's one of the carriers, Oscar. There's another carrier, Antidote. We have Imperial. Okay, this is all starting. You can see that the cost of this plan, you can't really see it here, but if you were to see it, the retail cost of this plan is $567. Now, by the time I apply the gift card of $292, that makes my net cost $274.74. This isn't necessarily a plan that I necessarily recommend, but this is just going to be the cheapest plan that's offered to me out there through the exchange. This is going to be my cheapest insurance. And by the way, because I'm part of a group plan, a personal group plan we have, I paid $950 to put that in perspective for my great United Healthcare Group Plan Choice Plus network. I mean, it's a fantastic plan. Heaven forbid anything happened to me. But at this stage in my life where I'm healthy, I completely feel like I'm paying way too much for a product I'm not using. But that's neither here nor there. I could choose, assuming this was my scenario and I made $50,000 taxable income, I could buy this plan for $274. And what's great about this plan, if I had cancer, if I had a heart attack, if I had anything going on in my life, fibromyalgia, doesn't matter. Parkinson's, doesn't matter what I have. They can't ask questions. They have to give me this plan. And the other great benefit about this plan is it comes with an out-of-pocket maximum of $10,600. That's a big deal. If I get hospitalized because I'm in the middle of cancer treatments and I have this plan, worst case scenario to me is going to be an out-of-pocket maximum of $10,600. I could have $1 million worth of bills. I'm only on the hook for $10,600. So when people say that these plans don't have benefits up front, they're kind of crappy on the benefit side, I would argue that they don't understand what's going on here because these insurance companies are on the hook for unlimited liability when you go into one of these Obamacare plans. And hopefully, statistically speaking, you're never going to be in that position where you're going to need that infinite liability perspective. And hopefully you never do. But for those people who have been in the situation, guaranteed every single one of them has said, thank God I have health insurance. Thank God I have a plan that takes on pre-existing conditions. Doesn't mean they're not still fighting with the plan in different areas, but it's still a huge, huge attribute to have these plans. So most people overlook the actual financial liability that these insurance companies have. And I'm not trying to be an advocate for the insurance companies. I'm just trying to help you get some peace of mind of what you're paying for and understand a little bit. Okay, so let's just say hypothetically that I chose this plan, right? Typically what I would do next, and let's, before I actually, you know what? I digress. Let me move back a little bit to explain a few more things. So let's see what happens when I change my income from $50,000 to $35,000. Okay, if you'll notice here, my gift card changed. Now all of a sudden I have a gift card of $489. That's a big deal. If I go down here, that same plan now that you saw before is now down to $77.74. The actual retail price of the plan is $567, but because I got a larger gift card, well, now it's down to $70 bucks. That's awesome. There's this other thing here that people are not familiar with, though. This is called phase two, what I refer to as phase 2 money, which is the cost sharing reduction. This is where the government's saying, hey, John Q. Citizen, hold up here. We only want you, we're going to help you cover some of your out-of-pocket expenses when you're inside of your plan. Meaning we're going to buy down your copays. We're going to buy down your out-of-pocket maximum, your deductible, all of that sort of thing. So because my income is lower, now all of a sudden I have access to some additional cost sharing. That's this little gold star. That gold star is only included in plans that are in the silver plan. So let's take a look at that. Okay, when I click on the silver plan here, you can see that these are all silvers, and they have this little, oh, they took away the gold star, but I still see the plus CSR. Regardless, you can see it here. So now all of a sudden, instead of it being an out-of-pocket maximum of $10,600, I believe was the other plan, now you can see it's down to $7,400. Let's take a look at when I even lower this even further. Let's take my income down to $26,000. Okay, so at $26,000, my estimated cost savings, now my gift card has gone up to $599. Huge, that's a big deal right there. And you still have the gold star. Let's look at this plan here. Look at the plan, how it changed. It went from a $7,500, I believe, out-of-pocket maximum down to $3,300. That's because I'm making less money, taxable income. So again, the government's saying, hey, if you're making less money, let me help you. I just lost my feed, but I can switch that over to this camera. So don't worry, we got backup plan. So whatever you did, Joe, you lost. Yep, now it's back. Okay, so at any rate, all good. I can talk into this camera too. So as you notice, as I adjust my income, let's go back up to 50. Let's watch what happens to all the variables on this plan. Now my out-of-pocket maximum is $8,900. Doctor's visits are $40. Specialist visits are $80. Generic drugs are $20. And the cost of this plan is $396. I go back down to that $26,000. Out-of-pocket maximum is now $3,300. Doctor visit is now $20. Specialist visit is now $40. Generic drugs are now $10. So who wouldn't want to do that? All right, everybody would want to say, "Hey, just put my income at $26,000." You don't want to do that because the government is going to reconcile that number. If all of a sudden you come back in at 50, but you told me 26, and I put in 26, this gift card went from, what was that number? 50,000. Went from 292 to 599. That's over a $300 difference. The IRS is going to say, hey, we gave you too much money. We want $300 per payment that we made, which is times 12. That's basically $3,600 now that you owe the IRS because you underestimated your income. So you never want to underestimate your income here because you're going to have a huge tax bill and you're going to have a problem. Nobody wants that. So that's kind of some of how the basic parameters work when it comes to the Obamacare situation. From this point, when I go through and I choose my plan, it's going to go into a whole nother area of what it takes on the application. I'm not going to go through that today, but this is our first live streaming episode of what you can expect. I'm going to try to go through different scenarios. My goal is to get to it every day, but I doubt it will. I'm going to try to do it for 15 minutes because nobody wants to talk about health insurance. Nobody. I get it. But at any rate, my name is Mario Lizarraga again, and here to help. You can call us at any time. You can find us online at mapfl.com. That's M as in Mario, A as in Apple, P as in Paul, F as in Frank, L as in Lima.com. We have forums on there. You can call us. You're feel free to, you can call our number anytime. My website's on there. You can schedule an appointment. We will be straight up. I might not tell you what you want to hear, but you can count on me to be honest. You can count on my partner to be honest. And if you're bilingual or you're an immigrant, that is what we specialize in. My partner, Norma, is an absolute immigrant specialist. She's from Mexico. She started off working with a lot of the Mexican population and South Americans and Latin population. And since then, now we've grown into a worldwide office where we deal with all sorts of immigration statuses. Did you know there's 206 different immigration statuses? And depending on how you entered the country, your immigration status is going to either open up benefits for you or it's going to shut the door. And if you do it incorrectly, you could potentially not only owe the government back that money, but you could also jeopardize your immigration status. My partner, Norma, is a specialist in this. So if you are an immigrant and you know an immigrant and you want to make sure you get it right, again, go to mapfl.com, schedule an appointment with my partner, Norma. She is bilingual.